Hello, hello. This is Shako T. Lockman, your executive communication coach, and today we're going to be talking about leadership skills. One of my lovely clients sent me a short list of questions on leadership as she's taking on a leadership role in the coming months. And I thought, you know what, while I answer these questions, let me just share it with all of you guys. So let's get into it. The first one is, how can I set the tone of openness and trust from the start? Are there any specific ways to communicate expectations and goals clearly without coming across as too formal or distant? That's a really good question because it shows me your level of integrity in the workplace, in your leadership position, which many leaders actually lack. The best way to set the tone for openness right from the start is by actually practicing what it is that you want to instill in your team. So, for example, you might say from the first meeting, guys, just to let you know, if I have any challenges with something or if I make a mistake, I will let everybody here know. And I'm going to be as open as possible so we can really understand each other and be on the same page. And I would expect the same from all of you guys as well because we are a team here. You don't need to be overly formal about it. A little statement like that goes a long way. It's in the energy and in the intention. The fact that you have an intention to foster a culture of openness and honesty, that intention alone is going to be felt in the way that you communicate. So don't worry about coming across as too formal. You're just in your head if you're thinking about that too much. Rather, what you do want to do is have that intention and communicate it in a way that is just honest. You're honest about what you want, honest about what your expectations are, and that way they can feel it as well, and it becomes quite inspiring, actually. Let me try to focus this camera. Excuse me. All right, and the second question is balancing authority with approachability. What's the best way to establish myself as a leader while still being approachable? I want my team to feel comfortable coming to me, but I also want to ensure that they respect my guidance. Being respected and being approachable are not mutually exclusive. The best leaders are approachable, in fact. The best leaders are great communicators. What does that mean? It means that not only do they communicate clearly and confidently, but they are great listeners. They are fantastic listeners. Anytime my team personally at Mindsight Status, if they have a problem or a challenge, I listen to them, I ask them questions, I become curious, and I see how I can support them. When your team can feel that you're genuinely interested in helping them out as well, and you have their best interest at heart, they will view you as more approachable and they'll be much more forthcoming with any challenges that they might have. So keep that in mind and make sure that if you do need to draw a boundary, you don't do it aggressively. You can still, and the way to avoid that is simply by being respectful, by being polite in the way that you express that boundary, in the way that you assert yourself. One way that you can do that is by using the assertiveness formula. The assertiveness formula, which we teach in our program, is clarity plus calm confidence plus mutual respect. If you are clear in what you're establishing and what you're asserting yourself on, if you are clear, but you're also communicating in a calm and confident manner, and you are displaying mutual respect for the person you're speaking to, they will respect your guidance. You don't need to be aggressive in order to be a great leader, to be assertive. I hope that helps. And the next question is handling conflict with confidence. Since conflicts are likely to arise, could you share some strategies for addressing issues between team members or with me in a way that builds trust and respect? What I've found is when there's, again, true clarity in your communication between the team, it makes a huge difference because then there are no questions. Then things are clear and it's no longer a matter of emotion or whose side are you on. It's like, hey, let's get the facts straight. If people are going back and forth in meetings, in group chats, set a meeting between the people who are having conflict and say, all right, guys, I brought you here so we can clear things up and see what it is that you guys need so we can help each other out. You're establishing that culture of openness again. Sometimes when I'm in a group chat with my team, I might say to the marketing team, hey guys, could you add this to our email campaign, please? And then somebody else from the marketing team might say, we don't need to do that. That doesn't make sense. You're overcomplicating it. And if I say, actually, no, the reason for that is because of X, Y, and Z, I'm being clear and they're understanding. Taking your emotions out of it and realize that you're dealing with human beings is extremely important. And going back to that formula, being clear, expressing in a calm and confident way, while also having mutual respect is the best way to handle conflict, to be assertive. You don't need to be aggressive. And finally, providing feedback and recognition. What are some effective ways to give feedback without being too harsh or too nice? It's in how you're delivering it. With communication, it really, really comes down to how you're communicating, doesn't it? So if you need to give feedback, you can try the feedback sandwich, which is positive feedback, negative feedback, positive feedback. For example, thank you so much for editing that video. I really love how quickly you got it back to me. What could be improved is the sound quality. I know I mentioned that to you last time, so if we can be extra careful and attentive to the sound next time, that would be amazing. Also, I do love the color grading on this video, so well done. If you give feedback in this way, it lowers their guard because you're giving positive feedback and then you're telling them what they need to improve and then you're giving them positive feedback again, which leaves them on a good note. When you do that, people are much more receptive to your feedback. And in terms of being too nice, I mean, as long as you're genuine, I don't think there is such a thing as being too nice. If you're being a nice guy or a nice girl and you are people pleasing, in that situation, then you need to catch yourself. If you're going to give a compliment, if you're going to praise, make it genuine, and then you're not going to run the risk of being too nice. So thank you for your questions. I hope that helps. To summarize, it comes down to how you communicate. As a leader, if you are respectful and empathetic and you are communicating with calm confidence, this sets the tone and it solves 99% of problems, I'm telling you. I have these conversations with executive clients who manage big, big teams. And when they apply these simple things, it makes a huge difference in the way that they communicate with their team and the culture within that team as well. So thank you so much for watching. If you're on YouTube, leave a like and subscribe. And if you're on the podcast, make sure you subscribe to the podcast and rate it 5 stars. Thank you so much.